Okay, if you're looking at the age, well, there's aging analysis in accounting that tells you, who hasn't paid their bills and how much they owe you and how long it's been since they made a payment. Um, the age of Aquarius is the fifth dimension. What's My Age Again was um, Blink 182, and the lead singer of that, Tom DeLonge, was involved in getting a ghostwriter to write a bunch of stuff about extraterrestrials, kind of. In the end, he was a CIA plant. Everyone knows that the CIA is basically the Illuminati, which is basically all the celebrities. So, if you like celebrities, well, they're all out to get you. They only want your attention because they're all vampires. Everyone knows that the vampires live in the hills in Los Angeles. Tom Petty talked about it in one of his songs. I was going to tell you more about the extraterrestrials. Well, basically, people think of extraterrestrials, the Pleiadians are very common. The Pleiades is not even a star, it's a constellation. So, if you know anything about the distance between stars and a constellation, they're nowhere near one another. I mean, only from planet Earth do they appear near, but due to the vastness of space and parallax views, these stars are not close together at all. They're very, very far apart. But if the extraterrestrials have light speed, it's no big whoop. It's just kind of weird, but they would call themselves Pleiadians because only from Earth would you call the constellation Pleiades. Whatever they call the stars there, maybe they translated it to us. But there is no such thing as, the star Pleiades. It's a constellation, which is a number of stars. So anyway, the Pleiadians are very commonly quoted by psychics and things as being benevolent extraterrestrials. Sorry for the interruption. Um, who are they really? Well, some of them say that they're sending a lot of energy to Earth, and it's gamma energy. Now, gamma could be one of two things as far as I know, unless it's some other kind of gamma. But gamma radiation, electromagnetic radiation, is very high energy, and it's basically highly toxic and poisonous to anything that's alive. It's basically, it's you get it from like nuclear bombs and things, gamma radiation. Very strong, and it will, ruin tissue. So if they're sending us gamma radiation, they're trying to kill us. Now, the other thing gamma could be is in the olden days when we first had computers, we had CRT displays, cathode ray displays. And on some video games you could play on those old boxes, there was a setting called gamma, which played with kind of the color scheme on your CRT, cathode ray tube display. And when you played with it, it made it worse. You couldn't see very well. So no one really used this gamma, but what they always put it in there as an option, just no one understands why. So if they're playing with gamma, because we live in an informational hologram, it makes no sense why playing with the color scheme would change the energy. It does feel like a lot of people are suffering from unexplicable illnesses, extreme fatigue, thirstiness, itchy skin, tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, achy joints, what else? Skin that's just like scabbed and or kind of just scaly that will never seem to heal properly. Tissues in your body that don't feel right. They don't feel like tissues. Some people say we've got implants, and the things that you're feeling are not human tissue. They are implants of some type or other. Let's see. Oh, the extraterrestrials are using some kind of scalar weapon. Scalar is some kind of energy. It's not electromagnetic, it's a different kind of energy. And it was discovered by Nikola Tesla around 1899. So they use these scalar technologies to manipulate your body by remote control. What else can they do? Oh, when you're driving around town, they use what are known as holographic inserts into your reality. So I'm not sure how they do this. There's a number of ways it could be done. A holographic insert into your reality could just be, like if you've seen on the internet, they have like the 9D or 7D holograms, like, the whale that's jumping out of the ocean, but it's just a projection in a gymnasium. And they appear to be solid, but when you're driving along, you're trying not to bump into other things that appear to be solid. So it's very good quality hologram. Or what they could be doing is using various technologies exist that can either vibrate your skull or go right into your brain tissue inside your skull and affect the brain cells so that you start hearing and seeing things. And they're very sophisticated. It could be done by lasers, microwaves, or this scalar technology. So it basically induces hallucinations and audio hallucinations. So you can start seeing things that aren't there. It's kind of like virtual reality. But all these things can be done. The technology exists, and if you look on the internet, maybe they'll let you see it, or maybe they won't. Sometimes you'll post something, and then you'll look back a few seconds later, and they deleted it. I don't know if it's artificial intelligence or if it's a human that's gang stalking you, that's going along and has got access to Facebook and just deletes things. But it happens. Or the other option is that you are traveling through a multidimensional reality, and when you jump from one world to the next world, there's uncounted numbers of Earths. Every time a human makes a decision, they create two different worlds. One where they chose A and one where they chose B. And how many humans are here? Every time they make a decision, they create another timeline, A or B. 6 or 8 billion humans. And I don't know if animals make choices to go left or right. The only problem with this is, if you remember in The Matrix, when Keanu Reeves went to visit the Oracle for the first time, she was the lady that was making cookies. And when Keanu Reeves was talking to her, she said to him, you already made the choice to come here. The question for you is, why did you make the choice? That's kind of mealy-mouthed. The Zen patriarch said, in essence, what you are is choiceless awareness. So you're aware, and there appears to be a choice, but the choice is already made for you. So it only appears to be a choice. There is no choice. Would you like a cucumber or a carrot? And you reach for one, and the decision is going to be made if you're going to eat one, the other, both, or neither. So that's what the patriarchs say. And in my experience, after a lot of, it's not only meditation, it's actual living experience. I can only conclude that is true, or they are using such incredibly high technology that they are taking the choices away from you. So it was interesting because one of the people that comes up on my Instagram is running for the Senate in the United States, and he posted some meme by the free market economist Milton Friedman. And I read Mr. Friedman, or Professor Friedman, many years ago, and it was all about the freedom to choose, and that's what the Chicago School of Business is all about, and many other business schools, including the one that I went to, copied the Chicago school, which is based on Milton Friedman, although Friedman was never mentioned when I went to that business school. It was only later that I discovered that, he was. This just goes to show you how copycat everything is. If you want to get Friedman, then go to the Chicago school, which I assume was in Chicago, but you can never really assume anything. University of Chicago, University of Illinois, I don't know. Anyway, I read, I'm not even sure if I read the whole of his book, Freedom to Choose, and that was basically his treatise that of free market gave you freedom to choose all kinds of things. And if you didn't have that, then, well, he was trying to go, and the meme was basically, if you choose freedom to choose, then you'll get more freedom and more equality. And then the converse was, if you chose equality, then you won't get equality and you won't get freedom. I don't know if that's true. That was the meme. And it brings to mind another one that said, if you choose security over freedom, you will get neither. I don't know. They're just memes, and sometimes they lose themselves in the luxury of time. But anyway, Mr. Friedman's very good if you are a business capitalist and you own all kinds of stuff and you don't want to give any of your stuff to the people who have nothing. So you write these long things, and you have the freedom of the free market because you can go into, most supermarkets will let you in. Rodeo Drive and Beverly Hills won't let you in unless you look like you have money or they know you.